All right, we're about to react to a pretty. I don't know if it's gonna be an epic video or not. I had a couple people send me this to react to. By the way, everybody, W's in the chat for the new mic. Shout out to my grandma. My grandma was like, "Hey, do you need anything?" She was like, "I'll get you something," and I was like, "Well, everybody in my chat complains about that my mic is bad, and it is bad, and so I wouldn't mind a better mic because my mic is 4 years old and it was outdated. It was a HyperX Quadcast. It was like super. It was like peaking every time I talked. So literally right now, I used to have to turn off my AC to make videos because it's so noisy. Right now, I have my AC blasting, and it's not as noticeable. You might be able to hear it faintly in the background, but I think it's okay. I don't know, but we'll see. Anyways, so shout out Grandma, shout out Tina for that. She watches my YouTube videos, so shout out her. But we are watching Mr. Beast exploiting unalive video. He made this video about if you lose 100 pounds, you can leave. And so we're gonna take a look at that. I'm muted on TikTok. I don't think I'm muted. Oh, I'm muted when I switch to YouTube. I will fix that real quick. I love you. All right, everybody. I'm gonna be silent for 10 seconds. I'm gonna fix it. Okay, ready? I love you. Bye. Okay, I'm back. Am I fixed now? Cool. All right, we fixed it. Shout out to everybody in my chat on Twitch and TikTok that tells me when I'm muted, or else I would seriously never know. All right, so we're gonna react to Mr. Beast exploiting DEATH. I can't say it because I'll get taken down, but exploiting that for views. Apparently, somebody has a problem with the latest vid that Mr. Beast made, and so let's see if there's any validity to that. I'd be interested to know.
Genuine emotion. I think it's rare that a YouTube video causes me to feel genuine emotions. It's the nature of the platform and of social media in general. I'm not really here to make fine art, I'm here to tell you how Mr. Beast looks like Punxsutawney Phil. Uh-oh, he just saw his
I just think, okay, the video is already starting off in bad faith because you're making fun of how Mr. Beast looks. In my opinion, you've already lost the argument when you have to make fun of how somebody looks. That's really already crazy. And by the way, Mr. Beast is a good-looking guy. Like, no homo, like, but he's a good-looking guy. Okay?
shadow. That means we're getting 6 more weeks of clickbait. Or, in this case, we're getting 6 more videos where he exploits someone's death for content. But yes, in fact, Mr. Beast's latest video entitled Lose 100 LBs, Win $250,000 did, in fact, cause me to feel genuine emotions. Chief amongst them, just to name a few, disgust, sadness, and yet another reminder never to have too much faith in humanity. Because in that video, as Mr. Beast explains in his somber yet insincere sounding voiceover, we are dealing with real tragedy.
What came next was the worst thing that's ever happened in one of my videos.
The premise of the competition involves a man named Madge who's tasked with losing 100 pounds while being locked in a fitness center for half a year with limited contact to the outside world. He needed to turn to professional
I thought this was a good video. What do you guys think? I thought it was a good one.
Trainer Coach Tyler Wall. While living in near total social isolation for 178 days, Madge was really left with nothing else to do besides eat sad omelets, work out, and emotionally bond with his trainer. Coach Wall wasn't just his only ticket out of the dystopian gym prison, he was also his only real friend throughout the entire process. The challenge had the makings of a very generic Mr. Beast video, and in many ways it still is. Stupid challenges involving large bags of cash, flashy over-edited sequences that just give me nausea, and a premise that can be enjoyed very passively because it demands almost nothing from you intellectually. The only thing that's atypical from Mr. Beast's usual work is that Coach Wall dies halfway through the filming of the video. It is prominently highlighted in the video in a way that I find both disgusting and highly exploitative. Coach Wall's passing provided a very interesting moral question in the world of Mr. Beast, because his videos don't take place in reality. They're not even really episodes of reality television in a conventional sense. It's a piece of entertainment warped by the sensibilities of a funhouse mirror, designed to appeal to as many people as possible in the eyes of an all-knowing YouTube algorithm. There is no room for ethics, logic, or anything beyond a very simple narrative. The terrestrial real world isn't really a concern either. This video was literally filmed on MrBeast's personal compound, isolated from society. All that matters, the only thing that matters in this world, are clicks. Results, views, money. It's this simple philosophy and maxim that have made him the most popular creator on YouTube. It's this philosophy that forced him to keep filming. And it's this philosophy that made him exploit a man's death for views. Not only is the video we're discussing today one of the most unethical things I've ever seen on this platform, I don't think enough people have internalized that MrBeast has no empathy and no...
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point in my chat. It's like the guy passed away during the video. What do you want him to say? You just want him to be like, "Oh, well, he isn't training him anymore." No, bro, the guy passed away. I don't think it's a bad thing to honor somebody. Yeah, it seems like just a hater, to be honest, yeah.
Morals. And I'm not talking about him as a popular creator on this platform, I'm talking about him in the context of being the CEO of one of the largest media companies that is currently in existence. For reference, The Bear Season 4, which is one of the most popular quote-unquote prestige television shows, got...
That show fell off. That show hardcore fell off. Just saying. I'm just saying.
5.4 million viewers, which is actually pretty good for a TV show in 2025. I don't know why I said the 2000, it just kind of came out. It's especially impressive given everyone on the internet has decided that inexplicably we all hate the bear now. Come on, guys.
Well, I just fed into that video's narrative. Well, oops.
I thought we liked Jeremy Allen White and that fun meme about ordering food from a restaurant. I guess we don't anymore. I'm gonna have to try to make some jokes to lighten up this video or I'm going to start crying. But today's MrBeast video, the subject of our discussion, got 150 million views and counting. And that's a number I just keep having to update by another 10 million every single time I go to edit this script. He's one of the most prolific creators of our age and perhaps all of history, for better or for worse. Definitely for worse. Definitely for worse. We're gonna go with for the worst.
Whoa.
And I know by saying this, I'm jeopardizing my ability to potentially work for him, because according to his YouTube description,
Twin, listen, Twin, you were never gonna work for him, okay, Twin? Alright?
he is apparently hiring. And I honestly feel very qualified to work for MrBeast, because...
You feel qualified? How many subscribers do you have? Under 100K. Your opinion's invalid.
I've read the leaked production manual he makes all of his employees read.
I mean, me too, but my opinion is also invalid. But I'm not the one hating on MrBeast, so.
Which features such...
Also have 3 million followers on TikTok, so it like cancels out. But
gems like no does not mean no and really do everything you can to empower the boys. His job posting is nestled right underneath a brief obituary of barely 100 words that MrBeast provided for Coach Wall, also right next to a giant warning saying, "Subscribe or I take your dog." What a touching tribute, Jimmy. Almost as touching as the final seconds of the video, where he displays a memoriam image followed by, well, I can't make a joke here, I'm just going to play you the clip.
Thank you guys for watching!
Wow. That wasn't edited, by the way. He kept up the in memoriam screen for about 4 seconds and the promotional video box for $1 versus $500,000 romantic date for 5 seconds. A cynical person would take this to mean that MrBeast values Coach Wall's life 20% less than he does the next 17.
bro, we're really grasping at straws right now, man. You're really... This is a big reach, dude.
Minutes and 22 seconds of slop content. I'm that cynical person, and I think I'm right. Fundamentally, it's more important for him to marginally increase your odds of watching another of his videos than it is to actually be respectful of this man's death and keep the in memoriam screen up there for more than 4 seconds and not try to plug your other shitty videos immediately after that. This is how YouTube works, by the way, if you didn't know. If you're binging a bunch of one creator's videos all at once, the algorithm loves that. i.e., the non-zero amount of people who watched that entire video, which included a tribute to to a man's death and then thought, huh, a $1 versus $500,000 romantic date? Well, that's just wacky. I have to watch that video. Those people benefit Mr. Beast a lot. And that viewer, a few minutes after clicking on an AI-looking Ferris wheel, will probably not even remember the name of the man who was just memorialized in the previous video. And it's hard to blame them, frankly, if the creator of the video is dealing with this subject in such a gross and exploitative way. What other message is the viewer really supposed to take away from this? Mr. Beast fundamentally can't view Coach Wall's death as anything other than content. Oh, this happened when I was filming, and as a result, it will make my video better.
It will go down as one of the most
All right, honest question. If the video happened and the guy didn't die, do you think it would get less views? I think him staying alive would have made the video better. Because then it's two people going on the journey. Instead, it's depressing. And also, it's like, another point that I made earlier is that, is he just supposed to not include the guy in the video?
powerful stories we have ever shared on this channel.
Those videos of Madge crying are taken in the aftermath of him coping with Coach Wall's death. But in the world of Mr. Beast, that's not something to be respected or given privacy. That's something to be used as fodder to make my video better. My name is Patrick, but my friends call me Pat, and if you enjoy my videos and my content, please like, comment, and subscribe on this video. It really helps me out and gets this video out to more.
I don't like them and you talk like a sissy.
I'm going to be informing my analysis of Mr. Beast's video, going into it with the advanced knowledge that Coach Wall does pass away before they finish filming. It's a helpful lens to see the extent of just how much his death was exploited by Mr. Beast and the creators of this video. And while it isn't exactly hidden, as I've mentioned, there is a brief obit written in the description. It's
Gotcha,
actually not the first line in said description. No, because that would be a full sentence featuring a sponsored link for the sponsor of today's video, Shopify. No, not.
Okay, well that's contractually obligated, mate. He has to have a sponsor for the video. It's in the contract. You have to put them at the top of the description.
Not this video, that video. We're not doing a sponsorship on this video. Absolutely the fuck not. I do genuinely wonder, even though I probably...
You have ads running on your video, though. Little insensitive then, huh? By your standard. To have ads running on the video. Aren't you just exploiting Coach Wall's passing away then?
know the answer if there was even a conversation about this with Shopify. Hey, we have the opportunity to sponsor a Mr. Beast video. Yeah.
And if you're wondering why there's no ads on my video, it's because I pay for YouTube Premium. Because I'm not going to make my viewers watch ads.
Yeah, the kids love them. I mean, someone did die before they finished filming the video, but we can just put our sponsored link right above the obituary in the YouTube description. I see no problems with this ethically. So because the Shopify promo shows up first in the description, it's possible or even probable that millions of people watch this video without the advanced knowledge that Coach Wall was going to die before the video finished filming. So I'll be considering that perspective as well when we get closer to when it's discussed in the video. There's really nothing exciting about the challenge displayed in the video itself.
This is my friend Madge, and if he loses 100 pounds in the next year,
Is he going to have a problem with a guy losing weight too?
I will give him $250,000. This is Madge's new home. If you step on this red line before you lose 100 pounds, the challenge ends and you get nothing.
Simple, right? Find a subject who for some reason Mr. Beast is deluded enough to call his friend, trap them in some form of social isolation, and then bribe them with a large amount of money if they can complete a difficult task. Very typical Mr. Beast stuff. Personally though, I like to treat my friends a little bit better than Jimmy here, and I really hope that's not a hot take. If you, dear...
Oh, I like to treat my friends better than Mr. Beast. Oh, yeah. Me, I'm morally superior to Mr. Beast. I would never help my friends lose weight and then give them $500,000 at the end of a video. No, that's not nice to give them $500,000 for losing weight.
Viewer have considered bribing your friends to participate in a Stanford prison-esque experiment, keeping them socially isolated for 178 days, well, I don't think you guys are really that close. Definitionally, you don't really want to see him for half a year. Although, unfortunately, I know some people in my life consider me to be a see ya once every 1 to 2 months type of friend, and I've kind of had to make my peace with that. I think the simplicity, and to be more specific, the banality.
And yeah, let's not act like this guy in the video was staying in a freaking, like, a one-room thing. He had a whole house, a whole outdoor. He had unlimited food. Like, I think the whole entire area of the place was like a quarter of a mile wide.
Of the video stand out even more when you consider that some of
Okay, a lot of people are saying I look like this guy. I see it in the hair. And maybe the fact that my teeth are also messed up, but
someone who is heavily involved in it died halfway through filming. But it's not exactly a mystery, because in the first 2 minutes of the video itself, which we know Mr. Beast hyperfixates on more so than anyone else on this platform, we get the reasoning for why this challenge was ultimately published.
If he actually loses 100 pounds, this will be the craziest transformation ever.
It doesn't matter that one of the main subjects in the video died. All that matters is how
He did. You're right, user. I think he got I think he got the most room of any Mr. Beast participant ever.
crazy the end product is.
This might be one of the longest challenges ever done. And I didn't know it yet, but the journey Madge would experience in this video was unlike anything we've ever captured.
I'm gonna drop objectivity for a second, if you don't mind. God, he is such a little weasel. I can't imagine putting my dramatic
That's rich. That's rich coming from you, brother. That is very rich.
monologue about how
Look, I make reaction content too. That is the most weasel-like thing you could do as a social media influencer. At least Mr. Beast is a creative.
transformative and powerful my video is, over footage of me fist bumping my dipshit friend, and then terribly edited footage of a man crying. Something else I should say, although it is irrelevant to my larger ethical criticism of this video and Mr. Beast more broadly, and pertains more to my dislike of these videos and why I find them thoroughly unenjoyable, but I have to say, Madge performs often very obnoxiously for the camera.
How dare somebody perform for a camera in a entertaining YouTube video? How dare they?
And to state the obvious, but it needs to be stated, I obviously don't have anything against the guy. His fitness journey is obviously impressive, and he was paid a decent amount of money for a lot of bit of emotional trauma. But fundamental to any Mr. Beast video is screaming at the camera. I saw this a lot when I was covering Beast games, and it hasn't gotten any less grating. I understand the reasoning. A lot of his content.
I didn't watch Beast Games, and I feel like Beast Games is one of the things you could actually kind of make, you could kind of dog on Mr. Beast for doing, because I heard the conditions of Beast Games were not good. I had friends that were in Beast Games, and that was a not good experience, and they didn't get paid for it. So I could see that, but this video, no.
Is geared towards children, and children love screaming.
Somebody in TikTok chat said, the red circle was 1/8 of a mile. He had 35,000 square feet for his area, bro.
Although, if a lot of your content is being consumed by younger audiences, maybe you have an even greater responsibility to film your content in an ethical way and not exploit a man's death for clicks, but what do I know? 12% of kids want to be a YouTuber when they grow up, and if they're modeling their content off of Mr. Beast, I'm afraid what's left of our dying social fabric will be torn to ribbons. If they model their videos off of my content, well, I don't want to say the world will be a better place, but all I know is that
your content, kids should model themselves after your content. Let's see what your content. All right, let's see what your content is. It's a bunch of reaction videos, reaction video, reaction video, reaction video. The return of gay Love Island. All right. Yeah, the world would be at a better place if everybody just made reaction hate videos. As somebody that makes reaction hate videos, I disagree.
To my knowledge, the only person who's ever gone without underwear in one of my videos has been me. It's around a minute and a half into the video when we get our first introduction to Coach Wall, who's brought in because Maj doesn't even know how to squat, let alone the intense physical tasks that are going to be required of him if he wants to lose these 100 pounds. And again, let me just quickly put aside my ethical qualms. This is not good content. It's not a good story, because MrBeast's is so deeply immersed inside the YouTube algorithm. He is hyper focused on having the first 4 minutes of all of his videos go by as quickly as possible, be paced as quickly as possible. I believe the number floating around is that in the average MrBeast video, there's going to be 52 cuts in the first 60 seconds.
Whoa.
That's basically a cut every other word, which is a lot. To show you exactly what I mean, let's watch the moment where the video tells us what Maj's explicitly stated motivations are for being in this insane challenge, frankly. You're leaving your family and your life for up to a year to be here. So what
He had no close friends and he had no girlfriend, and he got to see his family periodically throughout the challenge. How is this a problem, dude?
is his motivation?
How much do you think your life will change once you lose this 100 pounds?
I'll just be happier. Longevity of life. You know, being able to be with my fam, my niece and nephew. That's really the most important. So.
That was, what, 5 seconds? Does MrBeast assume we don't need to see why he wants to be here because it's, what, self-evident? That's completely ridiculous. Yes, I imagine the average person who weighs 324 pounds would, in an ideal world, love to lose 100 pounds, but you have to give up to a year of your life living in social isolation for that to actually happen. If you read that leaked production manual that I mentioned earlier, you actually get a lot of insight into his process, specifically as it relates to YouTube. He's very explicit that everyone who works for his company should stop watching traditional TV or movies and instead exclusively binge YouTube videos. Because of the nature of the platform, he doesn't really want to focus on day one of any of these long challenges, because unlike a traditional TV show or a film which is trying to actually have a coherent narrative, his videos are designed to give you constant stimuli changes, constant dopamine, and to bombard all of your senses. MrBeast really wants you to feel like you're one of those lab rats who will keep pushing a pleasure button until they die, binging his videos in the process and helping his multi-million-dollar company earn a few more bucks. That last part wasn't in the production manual, but I just extrapolated what his intended meaning must have been. On a narrative level, this is why none of his videos work as actual quality pieces of art. What value is the destination if the journey is butchered for the sake of a computer algorithm? Not 3 minutes into the video, we're already a month into the challenge. I'll stop bringing up the pacing from this point.
Well, the challenge was freaking like 100 days long. You want him to go through every single day?
Going forward, just assume that it's ghastly, but I actually think the pacing is part of the problem, and part of the reason why this video ultimately exploited a man's death for clicks. If your videos move at such a breakneck speed that they can't even consider the main character's emotional journey, how the hell are they equipped to consider the ethical ramifications of a man's death? The video can't. And it doesn't want to either. But because viewer engagement is a problem that it is concerned with, it absolutely can find ways to address that.
But he wants a
like
Mr. Beast
representing
movie.
Maj's weight loss with a progress bar. In case you're incapable of doing the math on what percentage of 100 pounds is 20 pounds, there you go. It's 20%. 20 pounds out of 100 pounds, 20%. Bar down there, in case you didn't know how to do that. There's also this very disturbing...
Well, I'd say about 75% of his audience is children, so obviously I feel like MrBeast videos are sort of catered towards children.
shot of shitty CGI / possibly AI computer builds overflowing, which they added in for no reason. With the magic of AI, you too can create terrible visuals for your YouTube videos, melding reality with terrible, shitty looking CGI eldritch horror dollar bills. MrBeast reveals that in his next weigh-in, Maj will get $1,000 for every push-up he can do in a row. It vaguely reminded me of some very traumatic hazing I had to do when I went to tennis camp. If you lost a match, you had to do 20 push-ups, and I really couldn't manage one. I also was bad at tennis, so it was kind of a nightmare scenario for me. But right after he says that, there is a very subtle blink and you'll miss it moment that I think underscores a lot of the underlying psychological torment fundamental to his process.
That's a lot.
Anyways,
I
see you
know,
for the
guy.
next weigh-in.
For real,
Bye,
guy.
Jimmy. Thanks.
Don't get me wrong, this is a very small moment. A lot of people probably will miss it, and maybe it doesn't mean anything at all. Or maybe it does. Maj has been socially isolated for a month, with no one around for the most part besides Coach Wall. And here Mr. Beast storms in, offers a financial incentive for a ridiculous challenge, that absconds back to whatever far-flung corner of the world he's filming a different YouTube video in. Maj, left in this social isolation, can only muster a meek bye, thanks,
Bye, Jimmy. Thanks.
for his patron/warden, and has to live with the contrast of a human being coming
Calling
in and
Mr.
offering
Beast a
him vast
warden
sums
is
of money
freaking
for him
crazy,
to
man.
suffer for content for the internet. But as I've mentioned before, he's not entirely
Wonderwall.
alone. He is with Coach Wall, who at this point in the video gets a slightly more proper introduction.
What's up, boys?
Coach was there day in and day out, helping him push the bar.
What's up, chat? How you doing?
What up, big dog?
We see scenes of them bonding, hugging, Maj working out
Yeah,
and
he's
struggling
just
to the
hating to hate,
encouragement
bro.
of Coach Wall, and Mr. Beast hang around Chandler. But things are going well for Maj, who's gifted another set of smaller clothes, who then tackles another Mr. Beast acolyte, Nolan, in a kind of awkward, vaguely homoerotic bout of Greco-Roman athleticism.
Don't pick me up. Oh, God, don't pick me up. Don't pick me up.
In 10 days is your next.
The exuberance in Maj's face and the sheer terror of Nolan's is something to behold. And to be honest, it makes me deeply
Yeah, for real.
uncomfortable.
The push-up challenge.
I'm not sure the editors respect Maj too much, if I'm being honest with you. If filming him during an emotional breakdown wasn't enough, they also dubbed over his scream with that of a rabid animal.
Push-up challenge. You ready?
But let's refocus back to Coach Wall.
How's that 2X feeling?
Good.
Yeah, you look
Grasping, bro. Grasping at anything.
great, man.
Thanks.
Dude, I'm really proud of you. This is a big step.
A lot of Wall's screen time in this video prior to his passing is similar to this. Brief lines, no more than a sentence or two, quietly serving as a source of encouragement and inspiration for Maj. Quick hugs, weirdly edited shots of him being in the background, and being consistently built up to be a steadfast, positive presence in the video.
A rabid
There's nothing
animal
intrinsically
is
wrong
crazy.
about this, but it just feels very gross to do, knowing that he is going to die, and his death will be used as a bit of emotional fodder at the video's halfway point. But for right now, Maj is suffering from a lack of motivation, and one of the theories
None of these are actually critiques. It's just, I don't like how he did this. It makes me mad. Yeah, for real.
put forth for why this might be the case is because Coach Wall was absent for a few days due to scheduling conflicts.
Maybe it was because Coach wasn't there.
Coach is not going to be in for training session today.
The actual reason, as delivered to us by Mr. Beast doing his best but failing to try to sound sad, is as follows.
But then we unfortunately realized just exactly what was bringing him down.
1 year ago, I found out my dad passed away. 1 whole year ago, my life was changed.
A moment like this actually does draw from reality television as a genre. The sob story is almost as fundamental to the medium as the confessional or the Frankenbite. That is a joke for the 4 of you out there who know the terminology associated with reality television. And losing a parent is one of the most grueling things that human beings have to go through, and his particular misery is probably accentuated with his current state of confinement. But I want to play you this next clip, which features Maj watching an old video of his dad speaking to him on the 1-year anniversary of his passing.
Luckily, Coach was there for him in more ways than just fitness,
I love you too, Dad.
and was beginning to have a profound impact on Maj's life.
Good man. Made a good son.
Thanks, Coach.
I suspect, because the opposite would make me the biggest asshole on the planet, that this was a genuine emotional interaction that these two men shared, and even though it probably was amplified by the fact that Maj is in a condition of confinement doing this very difficult challenge, but let's set that aside for now. Is it really ethical to put this in your video with gaudy, tacky editing and shitty music when you know you're going to be covered?
So you're asking a guy just to not edit the YouTube video? Alright, so cool. So what this guy wants is a Mr. Beast video to not be edited. Alright. Alright, cool.
Covering this man's death in literally 5 minutes? Genuinely. Let's not even use the word characters, because while that's how they function in this as a piece of media, fundamentally, these are two real people. Coach Wall was a real person who really died. In what possible universe does it make sense to include this emotionally intimate interaction, which, mind you, you've cut down to 15 seconds so it fulfills neatly what you need it to do, which is be a part of a segment about how Madge is losing motivation. If Mr. Beast had truly wanted to center Coach Wall, center his memory, center his connection with Madge, and instead told a story about their emotional connection and his tragic death, perhaps we'd be having a different discussion right now. Instead, what has happened is that Mr. Beast has distilled Wall's personhood into a series of 5 to 10 second clips put randomly and intermittently in a YouTube video featuring a man screaming as he loses weight and then getting money and then sobbing when he realizes that Coach Wall has died. And speaking of disparate clips, there's one more truly egregious emotional moment before the, for lack of better terminology, the death section of this video. Mr. Beast permits Madge's family to stay with him for a couple days, being a lot more lenient than he was during Beast Games, perhaps after facing criticism for, again, allegedly not giving contestants food in a timely manner and clean underwear. And then Madge's family get to meet Coach Wall, and just look at the clip.
Coach's incredible impact on his life was so great that he became a member of the family.
Watching this back as I film this and then edit this video, it's fucking so bleak. I think the most upsetting reality of this Mr. Beast video is that if what is included is any indication of all the footage they had, and I'm certain that it is, there was footage there to make a genuinely respectful story about this man's life. He did form a genuine emotional bond with Madge as Madge underwent this incredibly difficult and strenuous challenge. But that's not the story that we're watching. The story that we're watching is lose 100 LBs, win $250,000! Exclamation point. And to tell that story, we really can't focus.
Oh, let's pause from the guy who passed away. Thanks for the sub, EJ. Yeah. Oh, poggers, man. Poggers. I'm kidding. Thank you, EJ. Appreciate the sub, man.
On Coach Wall that much, because sure, while we can put clips of him giving Madge a hug or singing happy birthday, fundamentally to tell this story we need him to be a plot beat in a Mr. Beast video. The goal of said video is to see
Thank you, EJ.
clips of Madge yelling, working out, doing challenges, and ultimately, at the end of the video, losing the weight. Because that's what matters to viewers, right? And we want to cast the widest possible net and bring in as many people as possible. And to do that, we really can't have any nuance, and any emotional beats have to be cartoonishly simple. In the span of about 4 minutes in a 37-minute video, we get to see clips of Coach Wall bonding with Madge over the passing of his father, we get to see him singing happy birthday, then we get a scene of them playing together in the money, and then the next scene, immediately after that, he's dead. It's emotional whiplash, and it's absolutely intentional. I don't really think I've ever seen anything like it. They've taken a real person who really died, and they've managed to edit it like he's some
I just wanted them to cut the coach out of the video. I just wanted them to just not acknowledge that he passed away, which, by the way, would have caused way much more controversy for Mr. Beast, by far, is that if he just didn't mention him in the video.
contestant on a reality competition show who's getting voted out on episode 7 despite not really having a ton of screen time in the 6 prior episodes. Now they're focusing on him a lot. Wonder why that could be. Mr. Beast and co. took a real person's death and they transformed it into the death in the limelight TV trope. And I've approached this video with the purpose of
For
performing
real.
a close analysis to see how a MrBeast video deals with mortality. If you are a casual viewer who doesn't have any awareness that Coach Wall is going to die,
Well,
you
then
probably
yeah.
wouldn't have noticed
Hey, what's up,
basically
Willie?
anything we've been talking about. You probably wouldn't even know who Coach Wall is until, like, the happy birthday scene. Maybe. Let me play you the clip of MrBeast describing what's about to happen one more time in his own words.
Because their bond was so powerful, what came next was the worst thing that's ever happened in one of my videos.
Again, I should note that two of the most emotional scenes with Maj and Coach Wall happened about 2 minutes ago, roughly, in the timeline of the video. And still, MrBeast feels a need to specifically outline and wring his hands as to just how terrible this was. Because their bond was so powerful, what came next was the worst thing that's happened in one of my videos. He's saying this because the content itself doesn't even really believe it. Not only is it violating one of the most fundamental tenets of storytelling, show, don't tell, this is the exact opposite, but it's rather revealing of the video's entire philosophy. I mean, it's sad that he died. Look, we're saying that it's sad. We even added a little trigger warning, but the show must go on. MrBeast wasn't even there himself to deliver the message.
They literally asked the guy who was competing in the video, "Do you want to continue?" They would have scrapped the whole video if that guy didn't continue, bro.
To Maj, he outsourced that to a lower level employee, and of course, it was filmed and included.
How dare MrBeast not fly back from freaking Dubai doing another video and tell this guy, and instead waited 3 days, then flew back, and then tell him 3 days after the guy had passed away. Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Okay.
In the video. I
Cool.
don't care how many trigger warnings you
For
add,
sure.
which, by the way, those are generally at the start of the video before it starts, but that would be algorithmic suicide, just like saying the word suicide is algorithmic suicide. But what they filmed next and decided to include is truly abhorrent.
I do have really unfortunate news. I hate to be the first to tell you this. Coach Wall was found dead in his apartment yesterday.
No. No, man, no. No, don't lie to me, bro.
It's not so bad.
If this was all that they decided to include in the video, it would already be an incredibly poor taste. There's no real camera crew getting this shot. All of the footage we're looking at is purely coming from the surveillance cameras in the gym. Our perspective, both in reality and in terms of screen language, is so detached from this emotional, traumatic moment that we're witnessing, that we shouldn't be witnessing. This should be something that the Walls should see and then instantly forget, rather than having his grief reverberate across 150 million different screens. Of course, though, that is not all MrBeast included in the video.
Oh my god.
They felt fit to put the lingering remnants of Maj's grief in his sobs as he yells out in denial over the information he's just been presented. It's insane to me that MrBeast felt like this footage, shitty piano music and all, was ethical to include in the video, especially because he has a conversation with Maj that he chooses not to include in the overall final cut.
And I'm choosing not to play our conversation here, but essentially I wanted to let him know that his grief was real.
How noble of you, Jimmy. You've really demonstrated a lot of respect for the memory of Coach Wall. You're a classy guy. But I want to talk about how the choice to continue the challenge was framed, because in the video, it was framed as a decision that 100% fell to Maj.
While he contemplated the decision of continuing or stopping this
What's
video,
up, Merp?
because
330 low?
ultimately, whether or not the video continues was up to him.
On the surface,
Thanks.
I suppose this seems rational. It's his life, his social isolation, his fitness challenge, that he'll get $281,000 if he completes it and nothing if he fails it. I don't know if he was offered a payout. to stop the challenge, but if he was, it was not mentioned. All of that being said, in what possible world is Maj in a condition to be able to make an informed and uncoerced decision as to whether or not he wants to continue this challenge? Take a look at this brief conversation between Maj and one of Mr. Beast's henchmen, and keep in mind, this is something that the editors chose to include.
He was a good dude, and he spoke very highly of you, and he believes in you, man.
Coach Wall believed in you to do what? Could it possibly be, I don't know, finishing the fitness challenge and therefore finishing the video? Seems likely to me. Now take a look at what Maj says to Mr. Beast when he reveals that he wants to keep going with the challenge.
We're not pulling the plug on this.
Yeah?
I can't let him down. I'm doing this for myself, but now it's for Coach too.
Oh, what a coincidence. It's the exact same reasoning. Foisting all of the practical and, frankly, ethical considerations as to whether or not we should keep filming or not, making all of that 100% be on your participant, is absolutely ludicrous. There's no world in which Maj had any other choice. Do I either walk away with nothing, or do I listen to everyone around me, all of whom are employed by the man who has a financial incentive that I finish filming his stupid fucking video? We could, I don't know, turn off the cameras and complete the challenge anyway, or we could edit the final product in a way that's actually respectful to Coach Wall's memory, but that video, that hypothetical video, would not get 150 million views. That is a fact. Mr. Beast needed this video to be lose 100 lbs, win $250,000, because to him, his perspective, that is what pays the bills. Instead, how they choose...
You forgot, lose 100 pounds, win $250,000, red arrow on coffin, parentheses, super sad, trigger warning, super sad, crying emoji.
to honor Coach Wall is with a tiny plaque that Mr. Beast hides underneath his shirt jacket.
Oh, man.
Where do you want to put up your wall plaque?
The very callous-sounding Mr. Beast tries and fails to sound like a real human being, and then, not 5 minutes later, after Maj was crying about the death of one of his close friends, Mr. Beast makes sure to get a Shopify ad read into the video.
When Shopify heard about your weight loss journey, they decided they wanted to help out.
Did Shopify also hear about the death, you ghoul, or did you omit that from the business correspondence? It's not even the only bit of promotion that they integrate into this video. Not even 5 minutes after that, Maj is rewarding himself with a Mr. Beast-owned Feastables chocolate cup with his new fucking trainer.
Alright, Feastables are freaking terrible. I'll give you that point.
Jeff sat down to share a little something special.
The Feastables cups.
Let's go.
This is something that I really wanted to have.
I don't know what other word I can say beyond that's grotesque. There's not a lot of value in discussing the nuances of this video's second half because it is well and truly just a regular Mr. Beast video. And if I'm ever critically analyzing one of those, just know my rent is probably due. But that's not to say that they're not interesting, because they very much are. But fundamentally today, I'm not here to talk about yelling at the camera and giant bungee diving off of cranes and carrying around large bags of money. I'm here to discuss why somebody died while they were filming their video and they still chose to include screaming and giant bungee diving off a crane and large bags of money. With the exception of this terrible flashback sequence, the second half is more or less business as usual.
Bro, you think I'm not watching you?
40 seconds!
I got eyes on you at all the time.
Keep pushing. Don't stop.
50 seconds!
You don't have to follow your diet plan.
That's just it. The show must go on. And it does. To the ultimate end of Maj losing 100 pounds, winning $400,000, and weirdly, for some reason, David Letterman is also there.
I gathered all your best friends, even David Letterman.
David Letterman! Yeah!
He told me he was a fan of his show,
That was random.
so I brought him out. Good luck!
Perhaps he's there to spectate and see what entertainment is now. Or maybe he's just a big fan of YouTube slop content. who's to say? In any event, doesn't really matter because he's on screen for about 7 seconds and then the video gets right back to what it was doing before David Letterman was there. I think if anything it represents a bit of a triumphant note for Mr. Beast, who knows that his new media empire will reach millions and millions, if not billions more people than the mass culture of yesteryear.
Start another Minecraft SMP. Join my Discord. We'll get one going.
David Letterman, who was once and perhaps still is a household name, is given one throwaway line and a few seconds of screen time in just one small part of Mr. Beast's epic exploitative endeavor. We get a brief scene where they shave Madge's head and give him a fade with his beard, which they could have really done at any point. Don't know why they waited 178 days. I mean, clearly it looks better. He used to look like this, even in old photos we see in the video, but I guess they just wanted him to languish with a horseshoe hairline and an unkempt beard because it played better for the camera and the narrative. I hope I've laid out my arguments well enough, but this has been one of the most difficult things I've ever had to write for the channel. With something like Beast Games, obviously that's abhorrent, because it's a bunch of people in poverty competing for scraps, and then ultimately their anguish and suffering is monetized for perceived viewer enjoyment. It's pretty clear why that's wrong. But for this video, it's hard for me to outline why a person should have respect for the dead and not exploit them for views, because it's just fundamentally wrong. Callous, dystopian. It's not ethical to film a man singing happy birthday with sappy music and then use a surveillance camera to film his friend reacting to his premature death. Human existence is a fundamentally sacred thing, so when somebody like Coach Tyler Wall is found dead in his apartment at 38, it is one of the greatest tragedies we can even conceive. I want everybody who's watching this to have a bright, vibrant, and most importantly, lengthy time on this earth. What I don't want ever is for somebody's death to be used to marginally increase viewer retention on a YouTube challenge video. I find that so profoundly inhumane and deeply cruel. And you can't make up for it with a 100-word obituary in the YouTube description that no one's even going to read. They're just gonna click on the next video, and that's exactly what Mr. Beast expects from his audience. Because in his mind, the show must always go on. But that's gonna do it for me, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the video.
I don't know about that, bros. I mean, Mr. Beast has his problems, yes, but was he just not supposed to post about the guy that passed away? You know? Obviously, Mr. Beast is cheesy. Obviously, Mr. Beast has his problems, yes, but in this instance, I don't think he did much wrong. I think the one thing I could say is, like, some of the edits were a little cringe. But other than that, I mean, I don't think it's worth canceling them over.